So Tadakazu Kojima leads them across the timing line. Philippe Pret already taking a look at the Hulin hand to go into the Buccini turn number 1. There you can see Philippe Pret all over the pack, but of course he doesn't want to leave himself vulnerable to Eric Zhang, who is P5 at the moment, and Eric Zhang is on the inside of Philippe Pret, loses a bit of momentum. Oh, Alessandro, that's just it, isn't it? It's just one tiny mistake and you can lose enough.
Yeah, of course, especially when you are so close to each other. So a small mistake can cost a lot of position. Unfortunately for him, it cost nothing. But
I know, but what a shame. Did all the hard work at the restart. Thought he'd got the better of Philippe Pret, but it all went wrong. But Tadakazu Kojima has already built a couple of tenths over Gomax, who is P2. And there in the 207 car is Ken Sato, the P2 in the AM class at the moment. So in Trofeo Pirelli, you've got pro drivers and AM drivers. And now Tadakazu Kojima is coming under pressure from the 224 car of Gomax. But Gomax himself has got Hulin and looking at him now. So this is the battle, the inter-pro battle, if you like, that's going on. And of course, for Tadakazu Kojima, the more P2, P3 and P4 will fight, the better it is for him. He's able to get up the road, Alessandro.
Exactly. If the second and third start fighting, he can create the gap, and then be a bit more relaxed to drive, and maybe sometimes he's even more quick.
Yes,
because you don't have to watch too much in the mirror, so you can be quicker. So it's nice for him if the other one's battling like now.
Right, P2, P3, absolutely side by side now. And Hulin Han has done enough to go through to pick up that P2 place. Gomax losing out there as they cross the timing line now. Tadakazu Kojima continuing to lead the race, but Hulin Han is now P2. Gomax is P3, Philippe Pret is P4, and Eric Zhang is P5. Philippe Pret just taking a look at the inside, and here comes Gomax, who retakes that P2 position, but runs a little bit wide. He'll now try and make that 488 as wide as possible to maintain that P2 position, and he's done that. So that was a good bit of defensive driving then, because he carried a little bit too much speed and then thought, sugar, I need to put this car in the middle of the track.
Yeah, exactly, especially in corner 1 in Mugello.
Whoa! There's going to be contact between the two of them, and there was. These really mean business out here, Alessandro Pierguidi.
Yeah, it was really close. Unfortunately, nothing happens more, but it was a big contact. So normally, it was good. Max did a good job to keep the car, didn't span, so it was okay. Max did a good job.
The graphics on the screen indicating the battle for first position in the Pirelli category. Of course, the race being led by Tadakazu Kojima at the moment. Is that about to change? As Gomax does go through on the inside, and Tadakazu Kojima then is relegated to P2 in the race overall. So Gomax has gone and done what he needed to do, and he's put that car in front now. And of course, what he will try and do now, Alessandro, presumably, is try and escape up the road.
Exactly, because now he can create the gap. He's a bit quicker than Kojima, and until Kojima keep the other behind, for him it's really nice, really.
Look at Philippe Pret, he's all over the tarmac, trying to just wrestle his way through. Philippe Pret is looking very, very lively here. He's one to keep an eye on, but he's still got Eric Zhang right behind him as well. Fastest lap in the race has come from Gomax. It was a 1:56.052. And just look at the pace he's got now, as once again Philippe Pret is all over the back of Hulin Han, trying to go around the outside of the Buccini turn. And to be fair, that's not the quickest way around there. That corner is almost banked, isn't it?
Yeah, is it. And the corner is, sometimes you overtake in the corner in the braking, but then for the shape of the corner you can make the cross, and then you will be overtaken again in the exit. So it's a tricky corner. It's one of the tricky corners in Mugello.
Thank you. Angelo Negro then, who is currently running in P6 in the race, is also after Zen Low. And Angelo Negro, another one to keep an eye on. Now, drive-through penalty for car number 517, that's Z Wang, who overtook under the yellow flag, so he gets a drive-through penalty. Tadakazu Kojima then is definitely doing the job in terms of holding up. Say holding up, it's not fair to say that, but he is certainly not making it very, very easy for Hulin Han to get past him. Why the heck should he? But this just exemplifies the difference in terms of pace that you mentioned, Alessandro, just a few moments ago. Already, Gomax has been able to put 2 seconds of a comfort margin from P1 to P2.
Yes, he's doing a very good job, because now he's leading and pushing like he does, but he's creating a gap, and he can be safe to the end if he's continuing like this. So for him, between him and put Kojima between him and Han is a very good move.
Isn't it? And when you put yourself in the lead like this, and you've got no cars ahead of you, you change your mindset, presumably. You just focus on every apex and nailing every corner, because you want to bank those fast laps that you can to build that gap. But you're not having to fight, are you?
Yeah, exactly. Like I told you, you are a bit more relaxed, because you don't have to watch the mirror, and you can be focusing like in quali mode, let's say, to be as quick as you can and create a bigger gap that you can. Is okay, for example, for them is a sprint race, but for us in an endurance race,
yes,
create a gap can be safe also for your teammate in the other stint. So it's really important to if you can, to have a good gap.
Well, we're watching Tadakazu Kojima then, leader of the Shell race, is actually P2 in the race, and Philippe Pret in car 204, who is currently running P4. We've seen him weaving from side to side, trying to find a way past Hulin Han. Presumably, the more aggressive you are, Alessandro, the more you're taken out of the grip that's available through your tyres.
Yeah, exactly. If you are smoother, smoother you are, then the grip is stay.
Yes.
You use less the tires. If you are more aggressive, you try, maybe you destroy a bit the tires, and then you will have more problem to the end. So you should wait a bit and wait for the drag of the other one. If
right.
You can.
Use that to your advantage if you can. So the race being led by Gomax then, who's got just under 3 seconds of margin over Tadakazu Kojima. And King then leading in the AM category in car number 212 is actually P8 overall, as once again Tadakazu Kojima is under pressure, and this time I think he may have done it, because they are absolutely side by side now. Tadakazu Kojima will have the inside line for the Puccini turn. Philippe Pret is waiting to pounce as well. So the cars will go almost 3 abreast heading into the Puccini turn. This could all end up in a bunch of bent metal here. And there, a little nerf from the 204 car of Philippe Pret. You could just see one of the little aero flicks there that almost came off the front of the 204 car. Presumably that will only have a tiny effect on the handling of the car.
Yes, you have a tiny effect, but you have the effect, so maybe also you can suffer a bit of understeer, because you break this little part, but it makes the difference.
So it is Gomax that leads from Hulin Han, and Philippe Pret now, who is P3. Tadakazu Kojima, who had done a brilliant job up until the last 6 minutes of the race, is now relegated to P4. So this battle for P2 goes on between Hulin Han and Philippe Pret. Gomax has done that, and he's 3.5 seconds to the good. So now these two have been released from Tadakazu Kojima. In realms of motorsport, to make up 3.5 seconds in 5 minutes that's left in the race, that's a huge ask, isn't it?
It's really huge, because 5 minutes is almost 2.5 laps, 3 laps, so you can manage more than 1 second per lap, and 1 second per lap. If you're speaking with normal people, 1 second is nothing, but speaking in terms of motorsport, 1 second is a big gap, it's big, and be 1 second slower in 1 lap, you can manage it very well.
Well, if everything stays this way, and Philippe Pret stays in that P3 position, he will have done enough to seal the Asia-Pacific Championship. So, you know, Philippe Pret now presumably will have his championship mode in his mind and think, do you know what, I've gone far enough forward now, I'm not going to say he's going to ease off, because as a racing driver you can't do that, but he is going to think, I bank points rather than try too hard to wrestle away that P2 place.
Yes, I think so. Also for that, maybe he was not too much aggressive in the overtaking last before. Also, he tried to put the nose, but as soon as he see the other one, Hammer, close the door,
yes,
he back off. So probably he was thinking also to the championship, and he was right.
Okay, we were looking at the 288 car there of Tiger Wu, and there is Berry then, the 888, who is the best of the 458s, and actually, you know, to be running in P12 in a 458 Evo, which is last year's car, he's really, really overdriving that and doing a good job, isn't he?
Yeah, of course, he's doing a very good job, because the difference between 488 and 458, like we told you, is huge. So
yes,
running in P12 with the old car, he's doing a very good job.
Well, it's certainly closer in Asia Pacific than we've seen in the European Challenge, which I've had the privilege of talking about all season long. This is my first race for Asia Pacific, and what a good race it's been as well. Gomax leading by just a tenth under 4 seconds, but we're focusing on the 204 car there of Philippe Pret. Alongside me, Nico Spallet, top executive producer, who's been crunching away on the numbers all race long, has confirmed that Philippe Pret, who kicks up a bit of dust there,
he's pushing.
He is pushing. He will have done enough to seal the Trofeo Pirelli Championship by taking P3 in this race. So probably as they cross the timing line now, we're looking at lap times of 1:55.832. We've got 2 laps left. Alessandro Pierguidi, top Ferrari GT driver alongside us, giving us the driver's eye perspective, and been delighted to have you alongside us. And it's now that Philippe Pret needs not to make a mistake, and we did just see him pushing and running wide.
Exactly, and when you miss 2 laps to be champion, is the longest laps in the world. Let's say never finish. So if you are trying to recover time, to try to catch the other one, 2 laps is so quick. But if you are in the front, you have the gap, and you are going to win, 2 laps is so long, and that's the different perspective. When you see from the leader, or you see from the second place, it's completely different.
Now, as a professional GT driver as you are, and I know being very, very involved with the Ferrari Challenge, particularly these Finale Mondiali events, when we've had conversations off the air, Alessandro, you're always impressed that despite the incredible depth and breadth of the grid, the racing is remarkably good from these drivers.
Yeah, well, the action is incredible. There's a lot of cars, of course, there is a lot of cars in all the championship, and the action is incredible. So it's really nice to watch the race, and I have the privilege to comment this race, because there's a lot of action, really. I was surprised.
Well, we have just 1.5 minutes. The incident involving cars 268 and 288 is under investigation. Incidentally, there was a drive-through penalty. I think I did mention that for Z Wang. As out there goes the 523 car of Honda. He's going to be able to recover it from there, and of course at that point drags a load of gravel out onto the track as well, Alessandro, and if you're a following driver, you don't be wanting that, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, look at it.
It's not nice to have the gravel in the front, because you don't know, you arrive, you find the gravel.
It must be like ice, isn't it?
Yeah, is it. And it's really, so it's important maybe to be advised by the radio, by your engineer. He knows, and then can advise you. You know when you arrive in that specific corner, and don't push too much and commit some error.
Philippe Pret in this final lap has really closed the gap to Hu Lin Han. Surely Philippe will think, no, I'm not going to try anything daredevil here, because if I put the car off, I've lost the championship. Well, not lost it, but I've not won it.
For sure, if I am in the car, for sure, I think so. But third is okay. I think at least if
I'm on the podium.
Yeah, I'm on the podium. I'm the champion, so why have to take some risk? So maybe just in case if Han do some big mistake, but if not, still there.
Of course, they're beginning to catch up, backmarking drivers as well, so traffic is playing a part. But Gomax has done a brilliant job for M Auto then in his 488 car. and he's on his last lap, and he's going to win the first race of the 2 in the Asia Pacific Series to round out the season for the Ferrari Challenge Asia Pacific Series. Of course, there is the World Championship race to come on Sunday, but that's a completely separate classification, and that's what I consider to be the gold roof race. You know, that is, you're pitching yourself up against the best of not only your own drivers in Asia Pacific, but also North America and Europe as well. And you have to say, with the pace that Go Max has shown, there'll be one to consider in that race, which comes up on Sunday. But for now, for Asia Pacific, the first race win is going to go the way of Go Max as he goes across the timing line. Now he'll cross the beam, and he takes the win in race 1. Hulin Han will take P2. Philippe Pret seals the championship with that 3rd position. So all the pro drivers 1, 2, 3. Tadakazu Kojima takes P4, but actually is P1 in the shell. Eric Zhang is P2 in shells. In the AM classification, Angie King is going to be P1. It's going to be Ken Sato P2. Tiger Wu will be P3, and the best of the 458s is Martin Berry, who actually made up another place and finished P12. I know I mentioned this earlier on, Alessandro, but that's a remarkable drive in last year's car.
Yeah, of course it is, because like we told you, it's the difference between the 2 cars is huge, so he did a very good job to be in that position with the old car. So we have to remark that place, we have to remark that driver.
Listen, it's been a great privilege for us to have you alongside us.
Thank you.
We know you have a heavy schedule. Thank you for sparing time with us.